Satanisdad here. Heard you were looking for some new parents. Now, I'm the type of parent who's going to tell you you're doing wrong, but it's okay, because we can fix the wrong. What is a meta? How does a meta affect you? What does the word even mean? You have no idea, that's why you're here, so let's get into it. A meta is the most efficient and effective way of doing something. There are usually 5 different types of meta in Smite, one for each role. The problem with talking about the meta is it's always changing. And it's always changing because new items are coming out, new gods are coming out. They changed how much mid-harpies are worth or what time they spawn at, so now you have to think of a new way to do something. Father, should I play the meta and start stomping on people's faces? Why, yes, children, you should. But you should also have fun, because this is a game, and games don't matter, and you're not getting paid, so who cares if you rage at your teammates? The thing about talking about it also is it outdates your videos, because yes, I can totally put together a guide for Ganesh and tell you how to build him, and at the same time, everyone else is going to tell you something different. Everyone has their favorite items, and their favorite items that they have on their favorite gods. You know, solo laners, your warriors and the conquest map used to only buy teleport for their first item, because it was easy to get into the team fight that way. Nowadays, your typical solo laner will buy a relic that's more accustomed to their god, you know, Hercules with meditation, or sprint on a colon, something like that. Now, if you're looking for a video of what the meta is right now, you need to go to Twitch and watch some of the pro streamers like Weekend and Incon, or you need to watch SPL. There's no other way to do it because it's changing so much. Now, I was just kidding about playing the meta. You can play whatever you want. It's really up to you. Smite has been doing a good job of buffing items that aren't meta, so that when you want to, when you need to, and if you have to, you can pick up that item and not feel bad about it. With that being said, the meta is the meta for a reason, so it's going to be effective when someone uses it against you. If someone goes the traditional meta build, which generally costs a little bit cheaper, they try to be cost efficient, they try to be power efficient, they try to get everything they're looking for in a small amount of time, the least amount of time. They're really trying to think about this and make it more than it has to be, because they want to win the World Championships. The meta was developed by the people who are in the Smite Pro League doing this. I have a particular style slash build that I like to play in Arena, and I found it very recently, where I usually buy Mage's Blessing and I usually buy Mail of Renewal. And the reason is because it's just a constant team fight. So as long as one of my teammates gets a kill, I get health and mana back, and the crowd control, like someone like Ares or Kumbhakarna, Magi's Blessing will at least give you, some protection against their ultimates every 75 seconds. And now that you heard me have a timestamp on the video, I said 75 seconds for Magi's Blessing. I want to point out that about a year or two ago it was 90 seconds. And that's why the meta is so hard to make. Yes, I can tell you Blink is a great item. Get Blink. Go ahead, blink in, ult with Ares, and it's wonderful. And it is. But at the same time, Blink's been changed twice. There used to actually be other ways of doing relics. You get to split into 2. One was more what you wanted. It was actually the more meta pick. The other one gave you the option that you really wanted. There was, cooldown on Blink, and then there was Combat Blink, which had an extremely long cooldown, but you could take damage and still move. It's not in the game anymore, but that's what I'm trying to make the point of, is you can't make a video on the meta if the meta is constantly changing and it's not even a real thing anymore. So what I'm trying to say is find what makes you happy, find what you think is doing the most damage, and then look at the meta. And the reason why is because the meta is also going to point you in the right direction. I want everyone to understand that unless you're starting a tier 2 item and you're just committing to this build, I want you to start with a starter item. I want you to have magical potions. I want you to have health potions. In my opinion, it's the best start in the game, and you can see that the pros use it too. It's not only meta because it works, it's meta because it's efficient. With Guardian's Blessing, you get extra gold. With Attacker's Blessing, you get extra penetration. It works. It really works, and the team made it work like that. Smite made it work like that. They want you to pick it because they want everyone to have a fair and balanced try at the game. And honestly, someone who picks the start that I was talking about, a starter item and some health and mana potions, is going to have the easiest time compared to someone who doesn't, because you can't regenerate health and you can't regenerate mana, so you can't stay in lane and I can. And well, I'm trying to kill minions, I'm trying to stack, I'm trying to get my Guardian's Blessing online so I can get money. So I'm going to stay in lane longer than you, collect my 50 stacks, and then make more money than you. And that's the dangerous part of Smite, is getting ahead and getting behind. People don't realize that getting behind is a major, major thing. I'm sure one day you were playing and all of a sudden this Thor just comes in and ruins your life, sticks to you the whole game, goes like 13-0, and you're like 1-13. It's not your fault if he farmed better than you. It is your fault, though, if he farmed better than you. You should be farming good, too. You gotta remember that farming is the only way to get gold, which gets you items, which gets you ahead. In this game, as a Ganesh here, the early game, Thor got 4 kills. Honestly, in my opinion, this Thor wasn't even that good. He made so many questionable mistakes and ulted in weird places, but he still was like 14-2 by the end of it, so I mean, good job? The thing about the lead is you have more items than the other person. And you gotta also remember what type of god, you have here, because a late game god and early game god are going to spike differently. Somebody like Kronos, even if he does get that quadra kill in the beginning, isn't going to be a force to be reckoned with just yet. But someone like Neith getting a quadra kill, boy, that game's over. Let me tell you, she is happy. She is going to stomp on your face. Now, the Morgan in this game is my friend Bacon, and he loves to build Polynomicon. He says it is his favorite on mages because he feels like they just need a little bit more extra oomph on their auto attacks, which is understandable. Polynomicon is not meta, hasn't been meta in a long time, and people just, don't pick it up that much. It is a good item, it really is. If you haven't read it and you haven't tried it out, go. It's fun. It's really nice to be like, ability, auto, and they're dead. Wow, that was quick. So, if someone has a lead, what do? You play safe. Yes, you're gonna get dove. Yes, your friends are gonna die. Yes, you're gonna hate your life a little bit. But you know what? There's really nothing else that you can do. You lost the early game for some reason. Maybe you were like, I'm gonna go be aggressive, and their team came around the corner and just pop, pop, pop. It's not your fault, but it is your fault. I'm sorry. You need to think about what will get you ahead. Is it worth it if I'm here? What am I gaining from this situation? And I'm not trying to say that I do that the best. I'm not even trying to say that I do that at all. You gotta remember, Smite is a team game. It really benefits you from having the full comp, having a warrior, guardian, mage, assassin, and hunter, because they each fill a certain necessary role. Now, I honestly believe in Arena that meta is just not even a thing, but at the same time it is. Ares is rated S tier, S+. He is the best. And it's a good reason, because he has a 5-man pull and he has an 8-second cripple and he does a lot of damage and he provides protections for his team, and he's gonna build auras and it's crazy, and he's just gonna blink in and grab 5 of you and pull you, and now it's necessary to have beads as a slot. It's absolutely necessary. And having to force someone to buy beads is a big thing. It really is. What if they wanted Blink? What if they wanted Sprint? What if they wanted Aegis? Too bad. If you want to live, you're getting beads. It's like that. I'm sorry. I wanted to take some time and talk about Smiteopedia. I'm putting it to rest, honestly. The items are changing so constantly. I really don't have time. Maybe one day it'll come back. I'm not sure. I doubt it. Now, I said earlier, there were 5 metas, 1 for each role. I'm gonna kind of go over what the metas are. Yes, it might outdate, but I think I'm gonna be general enough to where even if things do change, I still might be right. The meta starts at the start. That's why they're called starter items. Usually you want to buy some mana potions and health potions, probably 2 of each, and then a tier 1 item towards an item you're going to build later. I'm a, typical support player, so we're going to start Guardians first. They generally go aura items, usually Sovereignty, Heart Orbs, Gauntlet of Thebes is big right now, which wasn't around last season, so new meta. Generally an aura item to help their team. You can be selfish, you can get stuff that will protect your life, like Spirit Robe. It's a great item, one of the best tank items in the game, but it gives you nothing for your team, so people consider it selfish. Warriors, the meta changes so much, it's ridiculous. They used to run breastplate, They used to run Breastplate of Valor. They used to get Bulwark of Hope too, and those 2 right there were just absolutely meta. And then someone brought out Mystical Mail, Shogun's Kasari, and you would build Frostbound Hammer with it, and you would just be a force to be reckoned with. And then that fell off, and now Warriors are just doing whatever they want to do. Most of the time they're building Gladiator's Shield, and they're just going for early aggression, or they'll go into reflect damage. Thorns and Nemean Lion are huge right now because hunters are extremely strong. Assassins, you generally just want to go for penetration and power. There is nothing else you're really going to want. If you can get defense, sure, Shifter Shield's fine, Void Shield's fine. It really is just, it's so much better to just go Jotun's Wrath first item, build something like Hydra's, and just pow, everyone's dead. It's great. Mages are in a funny spot right now because they got rid of Rod of Tahuti, because Rod of Tahuti was almost mandatory in every build, and they didn't like that. So they've changed that to different damage type, and then they also, buffed other items. Chronos Pendant is ridiculous. It gives you extra seconds off already 20% cooldown. Typhon Fang gives you lifesteal and power for having lifesteal, so you can build lifesteal and lifesteal away. Anubis became really strong because of this and actually became sort of meta in a way because he can just sustain through so much because he already gets a lifesteal passive. And finally, hunters, you're gonna go for stuff that increases your auto attack ability, and you're also gonna want to go for stuff that gives you power and penetration. It's that simple. You want to be the constant damage, so you want to get stuff that's going to do constant damage. For a long time, Transcendence was just the way to go on almost everybody. If a hunter couldn't make use of Transcendence, they generally were not considered good for a long time. And then they buffed everything else and made everybody good. It's fine. So what I hope you're taking away from this video is look up the meta build. See what it is. See what you maybe even could improve. Maybe you didn't think of using this item, and you know what? Maybe it doesn't work for you. Maybe it does. Find out for yourself. Make your own meta. But at the same time, realize that what the meta is can change any second. even if you don't watch the patch notes show, you should still at least go onto smitegame.com and look at the news, look at what's coming, look at what's happening. You know, sure, you love Shogun's Kasari, but now it's going to get a nerf and it's not going to be the same. And are you really going to want to use it? Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? It's up to you. Remember, it's your stuff, not anybody else's. I just want to say I'm really proud of myself right now because I've done like over half this video and it's like 21 minutes long and I really didn't think I'd have that much to talk about. Anyways, if you guys could give me something to talk about, you know, I got asked to talk about the meta, so I will. You know, comment, subscribe, like, whatever you want to do. I also stream on Twitch sometimes, especially Elder Scrolls Online. I'm really liking that game. I also play other games like Stardew Valley, 7 Days to Die. I'm getting into VR chat, but I don't have a VR headset, so it's really not the best. My cat obviously wanted to be a part of the video, so congratulations, you made it on YouTube. Do I get a reward because I have a cat in the video? Never mind. I guess the big thing to take away from this video, or that I want you to take away from the video, isn't just make your own meta, it's have fun with the game. And Smite right now, honestly, isn't in its best spot. It's almost unfun to play because I feel like everyone's just trying to mess around and take it as a joke. And it's ruining the experience for other people because it's such a hassle to get into a game and, you know, want to try hard. You want to win. You don't play Smite to lose it. You play Smite to win it. And then someone just dives and dives and dives, and, you know, 5 minutes in, they're already 0 at 4. And that puts the other team so far ahead, and you don't want it on the right person. You know, if Freya gets ahead early, I'm sorry, your game's over. There's no coming back. If Kali gets ahead early, it's probably going to be Pentakill time soon. Just letting you know. Just make sure that you know every god. Even if you haven't really played them, take them into jungle practice, in the practice mode. It's free to play any god. It really, you know, it's great. Why aren't you doing it? You could figure out what these gods do. You could figure out why you're dying. You could figure out what is happening. You know, why don't you want to know that? I don't understand. Also, look at all the items. Yes, there are 2 different sets for physical and magical, but you gotta do it. I'm sorry. You need to. If you don't, it's just gonna put you behind because somebody else knows something more than you. It's really not good. You don't want to have less knowledge than somebody. Knowledge is power. Anyways, thank you for watching this all the way through. If you did, you know, hit that like, subscribe, comment button. Tell me what you want to see more videos of. More than happy to sit here and do this for you. Take it easy, children.